Hi guys, surprise, I'm going to read an excerpt from my newest story, The One. It's kind of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer meets Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, and just any kind of story where vampires were hunted. I can only wear one of my claw hands because I can't use my phone with this one on. I'm wearing this Catwoman costume because, well, my main character wears the Halle Berry Catwoman costume at some point in the story, and A, I don't have it, and B, I do not have the physique to wear it, so you guys get the Michelle Pfeiffer version. So here you go, without the mask, because how can you read with your eyes covered? Also, it's too small. Thanks, costume designers. So anyway, I hope you enjoy it. I'm going to read chapter 1. It's available on all formats on Amazon.com, and it's a pretty fun story. So I'm going to read you the beginning of it. Chapter 1, New in Town. From the perspective of my main character, Fallon James. "What do you think of our new place?" Fallon James asked as she and her best friend, Ash Davis, unlocked the front door to their new home for the very first time. Ash looked around at their open floor plan before she responded, "I love it. I'm so glad you asked me to move with you. However, I'm not sure Oliver is very pleased with your choice," she added with a grimace. Oliver Charles was Fallon's boyfriend, and he'd chosen to stay behind in Birmingham instead of moving to Savanna with her. Fallon shook her head before replying, "He'll be fine. I gave him the opportunity to come, and he chose to stay. And you're the one I really wanted to be out here with anyway. So it's a win-win as far as I'm concerned," she responded as she put down the first of so many boxes. Ash shrugged as the movers joined them inside their new home. "I guess you're right. I just think he's going to regret this decision eventually," she shared. Fallon shook her head for the second time. "That's on him, Ash. And even if he decides he wants to move here, he's going to have to get a place of his own. Savannah is going to be a town for you and I. I can already feel it." "This place is special," she added. Ash gave her friend a simple nod as they spent the rest of the afternoon directing the movers. Ash and Fallon spent the entire day unpacking and setting up their new home. Both women knew that if they waited, the task would never get done. They were both expert procrastinators. After a long day, though, neither wanted to cook, so they ordered Chinese. "I'm so happy that we're finally here," Fallon stated as she slumped down onto the couch with Ash before they changed the subject. "Did you make a list of the things we still need? I was going to head into town tomorrow morning and grab everything," she asked as she picked up her dinner and began eating. Ash pulled out the notepad she always kept close by. "Yep, here's the list. Are you sure you're okay with grabbing all the items? I'm supposed to spend the majority of tomorrow getting my classroom ready. I guess the teacher who had it before me didn't do all that much," she shared as she too jumped into her food. Fallon shook her head. "No, I don't mind at all. I want you to start your first day strong with those kids," she stated. "I'll grab all the stuff, and then we can have a nice home-cooked meal for our second night in the new place." The friends spent a few hours hanging out before each made their way to their rooms to settle in for the night. Fallon called Oliver once she was tucked into her covers. "Hey, babe," his voice answered. Even though she really wasn't in love with him anymore, the sound of his voice was still so comforting to her. It probably always would be. She smiled to herself before answering. "Hey, how was your day?" she inquired. "It was uneventful. How's the new place? Were you and Ash able to get settled? I'm going to get over there for a visit as soon as work slows down," he spoke, his thoughts leaving his mouth in a rapid-fire motion. Fallon smirked to herself before she answered. "Our house is perfect, and we were able to get everything unpacked and set up." She avoided commenting on his wish to visit because she had been ready to end their relationship since before she and Ash had left Birmingham. Now it was only a matter of time. The hardest part about ending their time together was the fact that they'd been dating since the beginning of college. There was a lot of history between the couple, but Fallon was no longer in love with Oliver. She wasn't sure if she ever had been. The following morning, Fallon drove into town to gather the items she and Ash had forgotten about during their move. She started in a local shop where she could get the toiletries and other bathroom necessities. As she analyzed the different options for laundry detergent, an older woman appeared in the aisle beside Fallon. Fallon didn't pay much attention to the woman until the older woman turned to her, addressing her as if they'd always known each other. "You are the chosen one," the old woman stated, as if Fallon should have heard that phrase before, or, at the very least, expected to hear it. Fallon raised her brow. "Excuse me?" she inquired, her confusion evident. The elderly woman pulled an axe from behind her back and shoved it into Fallon's hands. "You are the chosen one. You have been chosen to fight the demons which attempt to take over our world. Someone else will come to your aid soon. Until they do, keep your guard up after sundown, she explained, while adding a warning. Before Fallon could ask anything else or begin to process what the old woman had said, she disappeared, leaving Fallon alone in the store with the weapon in her hands. The next part is from the perspective of Rupert Sparrow. At the same moment when the old woman put the ancient weapon into Fallon's hands, an older man felt a shock resonate throughout his entire body. Rupert Sparrow had trained 2 of the chosen ones before, and each one had died bravely while protecting this world. As he stood in his home, organizing his books, he felt the jolt once again, signaling that there was another one out there for him. Sparrow shook his head, unsure if he could put himself through the pain and heartache of preparing another young woman to be the chosen one. Could he put himself through that emotional torture again? He shook off his worry and decided that the best way for him to make the decision was for him to meet her and see if she was even interested in her new destiny, and a trainer to help her. Rupert sighed deeply as he began working on a tracking spell to allow himself to be able to find the new chosen one during the following day. And that leads us into chapter 2. So if you want to know what happens with Fallon and Rupert, then you'll have to keep reading it. So grab it on Amazon, paperback, hardcover, ebook. They're all available. Maybe I'll make it less or a promotion. We'll see what I do. And I hope you enjoyed it. Good night.